Having met Susan's older brother, she already disliked him. Savannah couldn't imagine a brother refusing to attend his sister's wedding, no matter what his personal views on marriage happened to be. Kurt's from a large family. He has aunts and uncles, and I swear at least 1,000 cousins. We'd like to invite everyone, but we can't. The invitations alone will cost a fortune. Have you thought about making your own invitations? Susan shook her head. I'm not very artsy. You don't need to be. Opening a drawer, Savannah brought out a book of calligraphy. These are fairly simple and elegant looking, and they'll add a personal touch because they're individualized. She paused. You'll find other ideas on the internet. These are beautiful. You honestly think I could do this? She looked expectantly at Savannah. Without a doubt, Savannah answered with a smile. I wish I could talk some sense into Nash, Susan muttered, then squared her shoulders as if she was ready to take him on right that minute. He's the only family I have. We've got aunts and uncles here and there, but no one we're close to, and Nash is being so unreasonable about this. I love Kurt, and nothing's going to change the way I feel. I love his family, too. It can be lonely when you don't belong to someone. That's Nash's problem. He's forgotten what it's like to belong to someone, to be in a relationship. Loneliness. Savannah was well acquainted with the feeling. All her life she'd felt alone. The little girl who couldn't run and play with friends. The teenage girl who never got asked to the prom. The woman who arranged the happiest days of other people's lives. Loneliness. Savannah knew more than she wanted to about long days and longer nights. I'm sure your brother will change his mind, Savannah said reassuringly, even though she wasn't sure at all. Susan laughed. That only goes to prove you don't know my brother. Once he's set on something, it takes an act of Congress to persuade him otherwise. Savannah spent the next hour with Susan, deciding on the details of both the wedding and the reception. With such a limited budget, it was a challenge, but they did it. I can't believe we can do so much with so little, Susan said once they'd finished. Her face glowed with happiness. A nice wedding doesn't mean as much to Kurt as it does to me, but he's willing to do whatever he can to make our day special. Through the course of their conversation, Savannah learned that Kurt had graduated from the University of Washington with an engineering degree. He'd recently been hired by a California firm and had moved to the San Francisco area, where Susan would be joining him. After defying her brother, Susan had moved in with Kurt's family, working part-time and saving every penny she could to help with the wedding expenses. I can hardly wait to talk to Kurt, Susan said excitedly as she gathered her purse and the notes she'd made. I'll get back to you as soon as he's had a chance to go over the contract. Susan paused. Missy was right. You are wonderful. She threw both arms around Savannah in an impulsive hug. I'll be back as soon as I can, and you can take the measurements for the dress. She cast a dreamy look toward the silk and taffeta gown and sighed audibly. Oh, Kurt's going to die when he sees me in that dress. You'll make a lovely bride. Thank you for everything, Susan said as she left the store. You're welcome. It was helping young women like Susan that Savannah enjoyed the most. The eager, happy ones who were so much in love they were willing to listen to their hearts no matter what the cost. Over the years, Savannah had worked with every kind of bride, and she knew the signs. The Susans of this world were invariably a delight. It was highly unlikely that Savannah would ever be married herself. Men were an enigma to her. Try as she might, she'd never been able to understand them. They invariably treated her differently than they did other women. Savannah assumed their attitude had to do with her damaged leg. Men either saw her as fragile, untouchable because of it, or they viewed her as a buddy, a confidant. She supposed she should be flattered by the easy camaraderie they shared with her. They sought her advice, listened politely when she spoke, then did as they pleased. Only a few men had seen her as a woman with dreams and desires.